What's up, Rat Potential YouTubers? We are going to be making a video today about what it's like to daily drive a 600 horsepower single turbo N54 BMW 335i. That's a 6-speed. So, right off the bat, it's a Beamer. This is luxury. This thing rides great, drives great, it's quiet. Roll the windows up so you don't have to listen to the wind noise for a little bit. And it is just really nice. Coming from RX-7s, coming from like driving my old beater Chevy all the time, this thing is a heck of an upgrade. So, for those of you who didn't know, I bought this car pretty much as is. Mainly because I wanted a car I didn't have to work on. So, it is 2007 335. I picked it up with 130,000 miles on it. It's got a dock race. Let me turn this fan back down. It's got a dock race single turbo. It's a precision 6266. And we're tuned on pump gas at 20 pounds of boost. So it makes right around 580 wheel horsepower through the 6-speed. And it has just like a single disc clutch. It doesn't have a twin disc or a triple disc or anything crazy. So it's a little heavy, but you kind of just get used to it. It's really not too bad. The other thing is it has a 3-inch straight pipe from the turbo back with a like little ricer fart can thing on the end. Personally, not my favorite addition to the car. So one thing, the Beamers always had 2 tips for turbo models, so they would have like a dual exhaust on the 335. So the bumper has a cutout for dual exhaust, whereas my car has one. So it just looks terrible. I don't like it. I'm gonna change it. Maybe get some carbon tips and make a new Y pipe and build it. But honestly, it's not that loud. It pulls good. You've probably seen a few videos of it on the channel. So what are the cons of driving a 600 horsepower car? Well, one, gotta keep your foot out of it. So I have gotten a speeding ticket in this car. It's just a modern car. They drive really nice and they don't have a feeling of speed, we'll say. Like in my 1980 RX-7, whenever I'm going 80 miles an hour, you know it. It's shaking, it's doing weird stuff, it's making a lot of noise. You know, in this one, like just in the course of this video, you saw me drive onto the on-ramp. We're going 60 right now. Doesn't even look like it. Just my hands on the wheel right now, really not shaking. She just drives good. So, you'll notice, check engine light's on. Being catless, it's got a check engine light. I know with MHD I can tune it out, but not a big deal. For me, I really don't care. And then just other assorted adaptive headlights are being funky every now and again. It doesn't have a tire pressure sensor, just modern car issues. But back to the cons of it. It can get annoying when you're in 6th gear and you try to like go up a hill, because being single turbo, it takes a bit to get it spooled, and if you're at like 60, it won't go. So it's just like whoa, and I mean it just can't spool it. So it does spool pretty quick. I mean, you can kind of see like right here, like that's about floored. Can't really hear it, but so it does okay. I will say the gas mileage is actually pretty decent. So like I get average around like 23, 24 day-to-day driving, and I drive a little bit of highway, a little bit of city. So it's not terrible. If you're getting after it in this thing, don't expect good mileage, because I can watch the gauge go down doing a 2nd to 4th pull in the car. You can see it'll go down one little notch. So it does have 2 Marlboro 450s in the tank, and it parties pretty good whenever you get after it. The other thing that kind of stinks is that, and I think it's because of the clutch, it has a single mass flywheel, and in traffic it can get a little brutal. It'll get like a little shaky and have low speeds, kind of like driving a cammed or a Bridgeport rotary, like a cammed car. It just kind of likes to buck and do weird stuff. And then also I have a stock shifter, and the stock shifter is garbage. So it's like a wet noodle. You can't really feel anything through it. 1-2 shifts are nearly impossible. I'm just not that good at it, nor do I really want to beat it up. So the other thing is, this car has stock engine mounts, and it's not good enough for the amount of power it's making. So I need to get the engine mount inserts and swap out the trans mount, just because you can literally feel the engine moving and everything's moving when you get after it in this car. So other than that, I've put almost 10,000 miles on it since I've got it. I haven't had many issues. Knock on wood, I had to put a battery in the car, and that's about it. Occasionally I can make it mad and it'll throw a limp mode code, and basically it's like an overboost. It's 30 FF. It's the normal one that even like twin turbo models or the twin turbo setup does. But basically it just, the single will make too much boost too soon and it freaks the computer out. So I think that's something that I can fix in the MHD software, but I just haven't done it yet. So that's kind of the brief rundown. I'm gonna throw in some pulls, just talk about it on the outside right here. Back from the clips, another little clip. So you can see here, we're on a rock road. So I'm a civil engineer, so my job takes me out on some construction sites, rock roads, big trucks, dirt roads, etc., etc. And I will say that having a lowered BMW can be a hindrance for getting around on construction sites. It's just a little bit tough. Gotta be careful where you drive, make sure you're not dragging up everywhere. Don't get high centered. Luckily, most of the time, if I need pulled out, the guys will be happily willing to strap a dozer up to this thing and drag it right out of wherever I'm stuck. So, not a big deal. I've been driving low cars and stuff around on job sites for a while. The other thing you got to deal with too, and I've been kind of worried about it with this turbo, is that it has just an air filter on the turbo, not a box or anything. So I've been keeping a close eye on how dirty it gets. If you notice, we just got super dusted out by this big dump truck that drove by, a big triaxle. So occasionally I blow it out with air. So just like with my air wand, leave it on the car, just blow it out. Keeps it fairly clean. Again, this is like maybe a once a week or once every 2 weeks occurrence, is having to come out to the job site. So keep that in mind. Whenever you do go to single turbo, you don't have a fancy air box to keep your air clean. So just so you know. Alright y'all, so random perk number 2 of driving a 4-door BMW. BMW so kindly provides you with mounts for a roof rack on the top of their vehicle, thus allowing me to mount my mountain bike on the top of the car. So, post work, just rode 7.5 miles on the mountain bike. Super good Percy Warner Park ride. Check out my other videos if you want to see some riding from there. There's the bike, chilling. Doesn't wiggle all too much, but it still wiggles a little bit. So, reasons to not use a C-sucker rack on your RX-7 by BMW. Y'all can see the cup holders on this Johnny. So, I will say, subpar cup holders. Obviously, I don't have the lid, so I'm gonna have to drink a little more of it before we really give her the tilt here. Give her the full beans. But, yeah, it'd probably spill pretty good if I punched it. I bet if I nailed it, I could make that spill. For sure. Go off blast. Some boost juice. Give her a little bit. Whew. Third gear rip off the exit ramp there. Here she is. So, if you saw the earlier video, I've had the car for about 6 months, 10,000 miles or so. So, no crazy irregular wear on the tires or anything. I did put a roof rack crossbars with a Yakima front loader for my bicycle on there, so you can kind of see that from the outside. The car is black on black on black. So black interior, black outside, which is pretty nice. Previous owner did put black line taillights on there, which is pretty awesome. And then mine does have the Euro like fog light, so I can turn this light on. I will say it has a 3-inch straight pipe to this like fart can single muffler, and if you take the butt plug, we'll call it out, which is the little plug that goes in the end, the car is super loud and drony. So previous owner did dyno it with the plug in and out, and it made 15 horsepower difference. So this is the engine setup. 3-liter N54. It's got all the fancy, I think it's VRSF inlet pipes, or cold side pipes, they're going to call it. Here's the big snail. So precision 6266. Need to replace my air filter. It is all heat wrapped, which I wrapped some stuff on an RX-7, and when you take it off, everything looks like crap underneath it. However, if that wasn't there, it would get so hot in here. Like whenever I drive this hard, I can make this steam pretty good, and as you can see, it's been melting the hood. So luckily enough, I've been keeping everything really clean to make sure we don't have any oil leaks. Generally, these cars will leak oil from the oil pump right here, and it'll leak down on your belt, and then it'll pitch the belt off and will mess up a whole bunch of stuff. So if you own one of these, make sure you do that and keep it clean. And when you change the oil, lay a rag in here so you don't get anything on it. Having all of the inlets and airbox and stuff deleted, I will say, makes it a lot easier to work on stuff on this side of the engine because there's nothing here. And also on the other side, because it's top mount turbo, all you have is pipes under there. So very simple. This does have the 7.5-inch thick stepped intercooler, so you can't really see it in there, but it's under there. And then this also has the M Sport front bumper, so pretty aggressive look over the stock 335 bumper. And then it is tuned with MHD fully. It has the motive boost box for boost control, and a my boost control solenoid there. So seems to work fairly well. There's the catch can. I don't really know what brand it is. It does have tile blow-off valve and also tile wastegates. This is a Burger Motorsports catch can. So the setup works really well. I mean, like I said, put 10,000 miles on it. Given I'm not in boost for all 10,000 miles. I mean, you normally just drive, right? It's a normal car. It is pretty laggy, so it's very easy to like not get in boost, which is good because it keeps your fuel economy down. But just a good looking car. I would say one of my buddies, Justin, if you saw the earlier video, has a twin turbo 135, and this car is way faster than that, but I guess the fuel economy might be a little bit better because of the single, and because that car is not in boost. So his fuel economy might be a little bit worse than mine because when he is at part throttle on the interstate, he is in boost a little bit. However, I am not in boost at all. So just part of having a laggy setup. But anyways, it works awesome. For the price point, this car being a 6-speed, how nice it is, you can't beat it. It doesn't really compete with CTSVs. Like a stock V1 CTSV makes like 300 horsepower, about the same as this, or 395, whatever they say out of that LS3. Makes the same as this, but just the interior of this car is so much nicer. It kind of has more of a timeless look versus the CTSV being a little bit more like Cadillac dated. Lexuses, there's not really a big following for modifying those. And then any other two-door car, I mean like a Camaro or a Mustang, you know, they're in the same price point and they've got tons of options, but back seat, you know. So that was kind of my thoughts behind getting it. I really like the car. I don't know that there's anything else out there that could really fit the daily needs for me, besides maybe like putting a 53 Chevy body on top of this one. But just to kind of bring the video to the end, it's probably just looks like a bunch of random clips that I filmed over the last little bit of a week of driving, because that's what it is. But the car's been great, and I would totally recommend it for something fun. You know, if you're wanting a good car that drives around nice and is luxury and reasonably affordable, I mean in that $10,000 to $15,000 range, plenty of parts for them, you know, plenty of these cars around to get body panels, whatever. It's a great chassis to play with. Given it's still a German car, it's still going to have its quirks, you know, window regulator, stuff like that's weird, but you know, that's part of it. So thanks for watching. I hope that you guys liked it, or at least dig the video. Got some good information out of it, at least, because I knew nothing about these cars, and after having it for 6 months, I kind of would like to think I know my way around it pretty well. So Yeah, like and subscribe. I can say we probably won't be doing much more crazy fun stuff with this besides maybe just some like pulls and some rolls and stuff in the future. Just because it is the daily, I don't beat up on it. But that car's coming soon. Cosmo's coming soon. And the Vert. So, and of course, you know, I got a whole bunch of stuff. So, stay tuned for more car content from the Rad Ranch on the Rad Potential YouTube channel. And this is Eric Hof, your host, Mr. Rad, checking out.